Caitlin Clark on David Letterman's Netflix show. Key highlights from the interview. Here are some of the highlights from Caitlin Clark's appearance on David Letterman's My Next Guest Needs No Introduction Netflix series. The old adage, no rest for the wicked, feels especially fitting when describing Caitlin Clark's first WNBA offseason. The basketball superstar has been everywhere, from rubbing shoulders with Taylor Swift at a Kansas City Chiefs game, chatting it up with the Kels brothers on their New Heights podcast, and even facing off in a game of Pop a Shot with Eli Manning on The Eli Manning Show. Letterman, a fellow Midwesterner hailing from the great state of Indiana, has been a fan of Clark since her days as a Hawkeye playing for Iowa. He followed her into the WNBA, attending an Indiana Fever game courtside. At one point in the episode, Clark playfully remarks, "You were our good luck charm. But if we would have lost, you would have been banned for life." The episode starts at Indianapolis' popular Long's Bakery, where Letterman and Clark pop in for some donuts. Clark jokingly says, "Whatever you want, it's on him," alluding to Letterman footing the bill. But the meat of the episode takes place in the Ball State University auditorium, Letterman's alma mater, for a sit-down interview. Clark walks out to big cheers from the auditorium spectators, humbly remarking how it's not something you take for granted, like getting to walk out here and people are excited about you. She goes on to state, "I don't think you can ever really, imagine it to be on this level. I think I kind of exceeded my expectations." Her competitive spirit. The two dive into how a kid from Iowa grew into the basketball phenom we see today. From learning how to dribble at just 5 years old to sprinting around the neighborhood on Halloween to collect the most candy. That same spirit was on display during a round of duckpin bowling with Letterman, where Clark hesitates to high-five him after a solid roll. "I sense that you were reluctant to do that," he notes. Clark grins and replies, "You're my opponent." Letterman sits down with Lisa Bluter. The episode further expands on that subject in a sit-down interview with Clark's former Iowa coach, Lisa Bluter. "We can't put a bushed barrel over this flame. You don't say whoa to a racehorse. You gotta let her go," addressing the fine line you walk when letting a player like Clark show her emotions, but keeping them at a healthy level. The physicality of the WNBA. At one point, the conversation turns to a hotly debated topic among fans, whether Clark was being targeted during her rookie year in the WNBA. "I don't think I was being targeted," she says, dismissing the speculation. However, she does acknowledge the stark difference in physicality between college and the pros, noting that many of the women in the league have had years to develop their strength and condition their bodies for the next level. "That's probably like the biggest thing that I'm working on going into this next season, is getting stronger, just because the game is pretty physical." A marketing sensation. One of the funnier moments was when Letterman relays a question his wife, Regina, had for Clark about what she studied in college and if it's helped her in her career. She answers, "Marketing, and obviously, it's worked out off for myself," with a big smile, sending the audience into laughter. Having significant endorsement deals with Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson Basketball, just to name a few, Clark does seem to be acing that department.